welcome to Quartz Times. This is our media law series, a space where we decode the rights, the responsibilities, and yes, the challenges that define journalism today. Tonight, we talk about defamation. What is it really? A legal safeguard or a sword that can silence the press? In 2024, Dhanya Rajendran, editor of the News Minute, filed a defamation suit, a real case, a real debate. So let's ask the following questions. How does defamation affect journalists, and what happens when the line between criticism and character assassination gets blurred? Stay with us because this is more than about just a law. It's about reputation on one side and freedom of the press on the other side. We'll explain the case, walk you through the court's responses, and discuss what the law says about defamation and freedom of speech.
Defamation under the Indian law is the act of harming a person's reputation through false assertions. Section 499 of the Indian Penal Code lays down the definition of defamation, and Section 500 prescribes the penalty up to 2 years in prison, a fine, or both. In July 2024, journalist Dhanya Rajendran, co-founder and editor-in-chief of the News Minute, along with the DigiPub News India Foundation, approached the Delhi High Court. Their defamation suit was prompted by a series of inflammatory reports and online videos published by pro-right-wing Malayalam news outlets, including Karma TV, Janam TV, Janmabhoomi, and News India Malayalam. The outlets accused Rajendran of being funded by George Soros and of engaging in anti-national campaigns. These allegations gained traction after the Cutting South Media Conclave held in Kerala in March 2023, where leading voices from southern Indian media came together to discuss regional journalism. Soon after, conspiracy-laced content aimed at Rajendran flooded digital networks, spreading rapidly across YouTube, WhatsApp groups, and social media platforms, without verifiable evidence or credible sourcing. The Indian High Court, led by Justice Vikas Mahajan, examined the material in detail. The judgment found the reports to be baseless, malicious, and defamatory, nothing that they were published without due care for the truth. The court deemed the linkage to Soros a fabricated narrative designed to tarnish reputations and intimidate independent journalists. Notably, the order emphasized that freedom of expression has boundaries when it collides with deliberate misinformation. The court ordered the defendants to delete the defamatory content within 10 days. Importantly, it also directed YouTube to intervene within 36 hours to remove flagged material if the publishers themselves did not comply. This is significant because it was one of the few Delhi High Court rulings explicitly spelling out the responsibility of intermediaries in tackling defamatory material. A reminder that tech platforms cannot be neutral bystanders to online defamation. Another unique aspect of this case is that Rajendran filed not just as an individual victim but under the umbrella of DigiPub News India Foundation, an association of digital news platforms and journalists. This collective legal action underscored how coordinated disinformation campaigns target not only individual reporters but also attempt to discredit independent media ecosystems. For students of law and media, this case serves as a living example of the balance between press freedom and accountability in the digital era. It reinforces two clear lessons. Media outlets have a duty to fact-check before disseminating unverified claims, and legal recourse remains a powerful tool for journalists to defend their integrity against orchestrated smear campaigns. In the evolving landscape of Indian journalism, the Dhanya Rajendran defamation ruling is now seen as a milestone where the judiciary stepped in to draw a line between critique and character assassination and between free speech and harmful falsehoods.
So, to help us understand the final details of defamation law and its relevance to media today, we are joined by Advocate Yadushree Chauhan. She's a legal expert in media rights and defamation. So, let's welcome her.
Thank you for having me.
So, let's begin with the basic, Advocate. What does defamation legally mean in India, and how does it apply to media houses and reporters, according to you?
So basically, defamation refers to any statement, spoken or written, that harms the reputation of a person or organization. Section 499 of the Indian Penal Code clearly defines it while also listing exceptions such as fair reporting, truth made in the public interest, and commentary based on facts. But if a statement is false, reckless, or malicious, it can lead to penalties under Section 500.
That's quite insightful. So, in Rajendran's case, the court found the content to be defamatory. What do you think the court arrived at that conclusion? How?
The court considered whether the outlets had any factual basis or credible evidence for their allegations. Since none existed and the material appeared motivated and careless, the court concluded it was defamatory.
Things like this actually poses a very big question. So, is criticism of individuals or institution automatically considered defamation?
No, I think criticism is healthy and necessary in democracy, but it must be rooted in facts and avoid personal attacks. The difference is whether the reporting informs the public responsibly or spreads unverified claims for sensational effect.
So, since we are a digitally affluent population, what role do platforms like YouTube or social media play in these cases?
So platforms are intermediaries, but once notified of defamatory content, they are legally bound to act. Courts can direct them to remove harmful material quickly. This ensures that digital platforms cannot be used to amplify false narratives unchecked.
This actually means that we need to be really careful as to what we put out there in our social media platforms. So,
Yes.
finally, I would want you to advise our young reporters that are covering such sensitive or controversial topics.
So always verify sources, document evidence, and present multiple perspectives. Seek legal consultation when in doubt. Responsible journalism isn't only about avoiding lawsuits, it's about earning public trust.
Thank you so much for clarifying these issues and explaining the legal context so clearly.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Thank you so much to the audience for watching Quartz Times. We were joined by Advocate Yadushree Chauhan.
Ruff Law Firm is here to provide you with excellent criminal defense.
My case got resolved by Chris really fighting for me. A lot of evidence that showed I was not guilty. He was just like a dream come true to me and my family.
I had some unlawful charges. I went to Christopher about it. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I'd be here today.
The sooner we get involved in the case, the more things we can do for you. Let us help you.
That was the story. Now, why defamation law exists? Defamation law exists to balance two principles mainly, protecting reputation and safeguarding free expression. As this case demonstrates, reckless allegation can cause real harm. While ethical journalism strengthens both democracy and public trust, for media professionals, the lesson is clear. Verification and responsibility are not optional. They are the foundations of credibility, and us journalist practitioners should follow every day. We hope today's discussion has helped you understand how defamation works in India and why it matters to journalists and how it protects both individuals and the larger public interest. That's all for this episode of Quad Times. Thank you for joining.